That's it. Oh, look at them all pretending to be nice to you, and the film's finished. What's the point now? This is a good week, right? That is more stars than there are in heaven. That's something. So welcome to you all. Very nice to see you all.
Thank you very much.
And it seems like, just watching you all backstage, it seems like it was a happy train.
It was a very happy train. It was for the most part. Judi was very difficult.
She's a troublemaker.
Yeah.
She is. She's a troublemaker and always has been.
Because I've seen you in interviews, Michelle. You often say when they say
poor thing.
When they say who would you like to work with, you often say Dame Judi Dench.
Yeah.
So was it everything you hoped?
Do you remember I cried when I met you? Do you remember I got a little puddly? Yeah, I did. And then I wanted to curl up in her lap.
But you didn't.
Where are you going? What's happening?
The definition of puddly is...
And then, now, because, Josh, apparently you thought you might break the ice with...
Well, yeah, I mean, the first day she came into the trailer, nobody would approach her. And so, of course, me being the idiot that I am, I went up to her, and do you remember what I said? I looked at her and I go, Dame Judi Dench, more like damn Judi Dench. That was it. That was it. I'll never work in Hollywood again.
Because normally on a set, you're the director, you're in charge. Yeah. But there's a lot of high status going on. Yeah. So how did you corral your galaxy of stars?
Well, with great difficulty, actually. I mean, and well, you've already seen. I mean, very little. This is a normal morning at work. That's how it would start on a Monday morning. I remember. I remember.
They put us on the train and they wouldn't let us leave.
You were just on it.
That's how they corralled us.
And nobody was allowed on it. Nobody else was allowed on it.
To use the bathroom.
Was there not a toilet on the train?
No.
No.
That's poor planning.
But it makes the scenes very exciting.
And tense.
It keeps the suspense really, really active.
So the film, Murder on the Orient Express, it opens everywhere tonight. And it is the most phenomenal cast. I mean, there's all of you guys, and then there's Penelope Cruz, Jerry Jacobi, all these people all standing around. Is that you there,
Yeah, that's
Josh?
me, right. You can... If you have binoculars, you can just make me out in the back of that poster.
So you got all the stars, but of course, you know, main man, Hercule Poirot.
Yeah.
How difficult was it to cast that?
Well, I talked to the actor for a long time.
Did you see anyone else?
Only in the mirror, in that case. No, it was, you know, when you direct... directors and detectives, I mean, in theory, you're looking for the truth. So, in theory, that double job is the perfect marriage on something like this.
Yeah, and something like Hercule Poirot's moustache is so famous, and you've gone quite left field with your moustache.
Yes.
Is this a moustache that has ever appeared in nature?
No, although I must say sometimes wearing that moustache felt like you were sort of French kissing a badger. It was a challenging piece of face furniture.
It's epic.
It is.
Is how much of it is you?
I tried. Well, as you can tell, I'm already starting my sort of Movember attempt to moustache it up. I have to confess a follicle failure. I attempted for months to grow and tease it. What do? You sometimes grow quite a thick beard. Do you sort of tease it out? Do you pull it? How do you get that great big sort of...
Tease my beard. No? You're so shaggy.
Naturally, you've got a big follicle
It's one
capability.
of the few things I can do is grow a beard.
Okay.
Yeah. Learned it in drama school.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you? Can you
I
grow
have
a
beard and...
Oh, you're talking to Johnny. I want.
I have beard envy. I do.
Yeah,
I grow about 7 or 8 hairs on this side. About maybe about 5 over here, and then just whatever sort of falls in between is left.
And Josh, you have a moustache as well in the film.
Unfortunately, yes, I do.
Is this real?
That's it. My kids were terrified. No, it's good. It's good in the context of early 20th century. When I'm wearing modern clothes, I look like a pedophile. And walking down the streets, you would see people clutching their children walking away because nobody wears that mustache in the wild anymore.
Yeah, you're right. They really, actually, when you
I can see that.
They
No, my
really don't.
kids would not talk to me. That's a true story. They were like, "Daddy, take it off your face." Like, too much to do that, baby.
And, Judi, if I ask you who you play, will you remember?
Princess Natalia Dragomirov.
Yeah, right on it. Who's she?
Is that it?
Very good.
Goodness knows. Some bird that sat around with a lot of jewellery. And a couple of...
It's a bit more than that, you know. It's the handkerchief, and, you know, the kind of maid. Olivia Colman's the maid. You know,
Yes, now you're telling me now.
She had dogs there. Dogs all the way through the movie. Christ, this is what I had to deal with. This is what I had to... Amateurs, bloody amateurs.
Let's have a special taste. This is Murder on the Orient Express.
The real killer is right here. One of you people.
We are surrounded by lies.
I'm sleeping here, where everyone can see me, and I can see everyone.
Who takes up the knife?
Cannot trust a one. Another one?
It was nice. I mean, it is, as you say, it's a real train. You are on an actual train. It didn't go anywhere, the train.
Well, we went, in order to get amazing sort of spectacle shots, to New Zealand and France and Switzerland and Malta. But we also went to Surrey, where we, the Alps of Surrey, where we rebuilt the Orient Express, 5-hole carriages, and we put the train up on a massive 15-metre-high viaduct, and we built a mountain behind it, and then we worked out how to move the train and stop the train, and it was pretty convincing, wasn't it?
I thought it was incredibly good. Yes, I think I moved about 8 feet in the whole film. If you can watch the film and believe that, I mean, really.
No, it is incredible.
It's fantastic.
Well, people, actually, you were the first one who got motion sickness, weren't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Well, because everyone's doing that all the time.
It was the first morning when I told Judi she didn't have to do that. We'd make it work from below the train. It was very good to see that she could. That's theatre training for you, see.
But now, Michelle Pfeiffer, you thought you weren't going to like being stuck on a train with everybody.
No. I don't like boats because I can't get off. And they didn't tell us that we wouldn't be able to leave the train until we were there. But, you know, the time just kind of flew. And Josh was incredibly entertaining. And you would do your Penelope Cruz.
I do a mean Penelope.
And then he would do Javier. And then he would do a fight between them. It was really fun.
I didn't see that because I was always
Did Penelope find it funny?
I didn't see it.
Oh, Josh.
No, Penelope, she found it the opposite of funny, I think. No, she would always look at me and she would literally say, "Is that really the way you look at what I sound like? That is how I sound to you?" And then I would do Javier, and I'd be like, "Penelope, don't make a big deal about what leave the poor fat boy alone. It's okay." And she'd just never break a smirk at me.
And so you're dealing with all the actors, but then, Judi, you've got 2 dogs. Is it 2 dogs or 3 dogs?
Two dogs.
And were they nice?
Lovely. One white dog and one black dog.
Nice.
And Olivia Colman, I had. Olivia Colman was dressed in black from head to foot. So I gave her the black dog. I got the white dog.
Olivia didn't think the dogs liked her. She didn't think the black dog liked her.
I turned them against her.
How did you do that?
You and all the treats. Now, as the poster makes very clear, in this film, everyone is a suspect. Everyone is a suspect, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a lot of that in the film, in terms of actors, of either, you know, looking at each other suspiciously or not looking guilty, or, you know, there's a lot... So, and because that happens a lot, were there ways that you rang the changes? Did you just kind of go, do it again? Or
Well, I heard about ways. I heard about ways. I heard about ways brought over from the Americas. Brought over from the Americas by characters like Mr. Perhaps you would like to expound. There's the English classical tradition. There's Shakespeare. There's the theatre, and then Josh, there's what?
Well, there's the who farted look. And basically, on the train, there was this scene where we're all Ken's direction to us is everybody everybody, look suspiciously at everybody else, and everybody's like... I looked at Michelle, and I looked at Judy, and I looked at Leslie and Daisy, and I go, all we really have to do is wonder who just farted. And it'll make our job so much easier. And that's literally what you see on screen.
Okay, tell you what, let's practice your suspicious poker faces. So you're suspicious, but you didn't do it. Okay, so we'll just imagine someone on the sofa has just let one rip. Okay, already you're terrible, Ken. You're useless. You're the detective.
But someone has let one rip, and I didn't. That's what's so terrible.
Okay, come on, focus, everyone. Okay, here we go. So, somebody has let one drop. Is it Josh? He looks like a farter. He suspects Ken. Ken had a big lunch. Michelle has never farted in her life. Judy's smelling it really strong. Johnny's channeling a bloodhound. Or is it the host? I like bloodhound.
What we tell you what? Sorry to interrupt, but these are all incredibly competitive games players. It's right to say that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You look at me as if that's all. These are the worst. I love it. So anything, charades, crosswords, you know, pub quiz, movie trivia, and whatever. And what I did find to just get their attention, you know, although they were.
You had a quiz.
We did
a quiz.
Exactly. We had a quiz. I'll try this out in the audience. Sorry, it's a bit of a cryptic one, but this is what I remember doing it on the day. I wonder if you can remember who got it. They were a bit noisy. We had to get a move on. We had a scene involving all of them. I said, OK, hold on then. The person who answers this question after we say cut gets 20 quid. OK, it's a laterals cryptic clue. What German refusal produces a musical connection in cinema between Penelope Cruz and Judi Dench? No, correct! Wow!
Very good.
Well done, excellent.
You're not getting 20 quid.
Well done. Do you remember who got that? It was because I remember so I gave that question before I said action, and they all went like that. So talk about being serious. I mean, it was an unbelievably tense scene then.
Was it Willem?
It wasn't Willem. It was Leslie Odom Jr. Who practically climbed over Willem Dafoe to get the 20 quid. It was so craven.
But the quizzes now, see, I can imagine Judi Dench and Michelle Pfeiffer, top of the class in quizzes. Why do I think, Johnny Depp, you're not very good in quizzes?
I was until I was about 3. Something changed, I don't know.
But the film's over now, so Josh, you can speak freely.
Yeah.
You hated the quizzes, didn't you?
I hated the quizzes because most of them were Shakespeare. And it brought, I mean, everybody, all the Brits, there were like 3 Americans.
Yeah, I hated it too.
And we were literally like, ask a Back to the Future question. Ask us about Batman Returns. Stop it with Hamlet.
But now, you are a kind of a Star Wars-y person, Josh.
I am.
And poor Daisy Ridley, I think you made her life hell.
I did.
Did she crack, ever?
No, the Disney lawyers got to her before I did. She wouldn't give me anything. I tried. I mean, I utilized some very powerful friends, including Dame Judi Dench. Damn, Judi Dench. And we tried, but she wouldn't crack.
What, you asked her questions?
No, certainly not. Now, he says it, but I had nothing to do with it.
There is photographic evidence. There's photographic evidence. This is you for some... I think, are you a character from Star Wars? I'm not sure.
Oh, Lawrence of Arabia, it's one of those.
You've sort of draped yourself in a thing. Can you explain that, Josh?
It was magic, is what it was. She looked at us. Daisy and I knocked on her door, and we go, "Would you mind doing this video with us?" Asking Daisy these questions from Star Wars, and she looked at us and she said, "I would love to, but I haven't the faintest idea what Star Wars is." But she did it, and she should be cast. She looks like a Jedi Knight. She's incredible.
Well, there's another one coming, so yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Now, in terms of behaving, and and you're all very professional, but the two of you have a very bad reputation, don't you, in terms of corpsing and giggling on sets?
It's, well, it's...
No, you
it's
too.
you. It's you. Oh.
I was never in trouble till I met you.
I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Also, she's one of those ones. So is Jonathan Depp there, who can be, who could be. We had a scene also in the movie where we eat together, and both Johnny and Judi can do the thing of either saying something amusing or paraphrasing, or eating something or making an unfortunate noise, twinkle but not laugh, or absolutely know when the camera's on you. So they'll do the, if there's a squelchy sound from a cake that sounds like another kind of sound, that'll happen suddenly when it's your close-up. And so I absolutely, I point the finger back at these two troublemakers. Yeah.
But no, but the two of you, now, Judi, you've worked with Ken, is it 10 times?
So many times. It's not worth going into, is it?
we have worked
10
10 times over 30 years, wow. Including when I asked her about being in this. She was the first person I asked to be on the train, and she very kindly said yes before I'd finished the sentence, and it was, that was very thrilling because it made a big difference to everybody else. But I used to go and talk to her about it in our dressing room at the Garrick Theatre, where we were doing Shakespeare's play The Winter's Tale. And going into Judi's dressing room was always like going into the bookies, because you like your horses, don't you? You do, you like. So she does. So she's there. I'm studying Shakespeare like a wild thing. She's bent over the Sporting Life, with checking out the 310 at Linkfield. And we were having a chat. I go in there one night having a chat. I said, "So it's very exciting. May have Johnny Depp maybe in the show, and Michelle Pfeiffer is always exciting. Josh again." She said, "Oh, what's thrilling?" And she was sitting there with her dressing gown on. We get our call over the town. "Oh, Mr. Branagh, Miss Dench, you're on." So she gets up, we continue talking. "Great, so we're going to build a train, and it's all going to be fantastic." We get into the wings, ready to go on. There's 30 seconds to go. She throws off her dressing gown, and there's nothing on from below the waist. I mean, I had the quickest of looks, just to... I can confirm, like the song, there is nothing like a dame. But so Judi's dress had to run all the way back to the dressing room, come back on with her skirt, and then she walked on like that. For the whole of the rest and then all the things she used to do, like that, she couldn't do. So it was like doing the rest of the scene with somebody acting in semaphore.
I'm drafty, Judi. I'm surprised you didn't notice.
I was quite surprised.
Likes her horses. She likes her horses.
Because Johnny, you have worked with Deb Judi before.
Yes, twice before.
Yeah. Well, once properly in Chocolat.
And once improperly.
Well, no, but the second time it was a blink and... You weren't credited the second time, were you?
It was improper.
Was I not credited?
I didn't think you were.
Excuse me, I've never heard that before.
No, as far as I know, do you know, it's a blink and you'll miss it bit in, I think it's the 4th Pirates of the Caribbean.
I don't know.
I think it's the 4th one. But this is the two of you sharing a carriage for the first time. Here. I won't ask you what he said.
No, certainly not.
I won't. Because Johnny, when you talk about creating characters, you often, like, for instance, Willy Wonka, you talk about what it kind of inspired you, what you were going for with that.
Yeah, I was sort of looking for a combination of a children's show host that's a little uncomfortable. And then I thought about, what if George W. Bush were very, very, very stoned? those thoughts collided. And I ended up in a Prince Valiant wig for about 6 months.
And then Edward Scissorhands, that sounds like a kind of sweet combination. And, well, yes, yeah.
Scissorhands was, I mean, when Scissorhands arrived for me to read, I was, you know, I thought, you know, this will never be for me. And I read the thing, and it just flattened me. I mean, it just destroyed me. You base a character like that, something that's so incredibly pure. I mean, that was a dog that I'd had as a kid, Scissorhands, and my nieces and just babies, newborns.
And those characters, they really, it's incredible the way they've last, I don't know if you saw this, but Halloween, Lady Gaga this year was Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
And then she's
So
out and about, and she bumped into a Jack Sparrow.
What are the odds?
I know, what are the odds? And you do sometimes, you do the dressing up as Jack Sparrow. You seem to like that.
I just run around the house like that.
But didn't you go? Didn't you go to Disneyland? I mean, that was, of course, a sensation.
I did something that as soon as they you know, Pirates was going to happen, I thought, how great would it be to be able to have the opportunity to stand there as some sort of animatronic until the people come by, and then you start screaming and you know, scare them into a mischief. You know what I mean? So, you know, all these years later, I got the chance to do it, so I was very excited. You know, these boats are going to come around the corner, and they just sort of looked at me as they were coming around, and I'm frozen, and I went, "Boy!" What are you looking at? And then, nothing. You know what I got? All of the iPhones in the world going, wow. Wow, that's a pretty good animatronic. It was one of the proudest moments of my life.
Josh, when you come to do something like Frozen, you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Was that character drawn? Was Olaf drawn already?
It's the first day you get there to record. I remember the directors saying 3 words to me: innocence, naivete, and love. Those were the 3 things that they said to me. And I immediately thought about my daughter, who was 2 years old. And the way she looked at me with this googly eyes was Olaf. It was, everything was a question, even when it wasn't a question. I love you. You know, can I get more food now? Like, it was like that kind of stuff. And that just seemed so right for that little guy. Like, this just sort of newfound, almost like Edward Scissorhands, like, you're new to the world.
And was it that daughter who then became obsessed by the movie?
Oh, yeah. She became unhealthily obsessed for a good couple of months. She once looked at me, so weird. She was making all of these, like, grumbling noises in the playroom. And I go in and I go, "Ava, are you okay?" And she goes, "Daddy, walk away. My powers are too strong." I walked away and called the police. Yeah, I was like, wait, what? It's just so odd.
So funny.
My powers are too strong. Calling an exorcist.
Now, here's the thing. Not just acting. Michelle Pfeiffer, a woman of many talents. No, stop it now. Unless, are you method actors? Has someone actually done it? Yeah, I'm really good. I actually farted. You sing. You sing the. Now, what is it called when the song's at the end? Just the end song.
The end titles.
End title song.
Song?
End title song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
And this is a new song.
It's a new song that Ken Branagh wrote the lyrics
Patrick
to.
Doyle wrote the music for the movie, and there's a wonderful theme inside it. And And out of a beautiful bit of acting that they all do, but this particular bit belonged to Miss Pfeiffer, there's this song that came out of it called Never Forget, which Michelle sings very beautifully.
And we know you can sing from Fabulous Baker Boys and Hairspray and Grease 2 and things, but you're now in a song. When did you find out that your name was in like one of the biggest songs of the last few years?
I think somebody emailed me, and well, first it was that Riptide song, and then the Bruno Mars one came out, and I'm like, what's going on?
So this is Uptown Funk.
Uptown
No, because it's right at the beginning.
I'm a huge fan.
We just play it now. This is what... How cool is that? You're in a song. It's good.
Very good.
Yes, it's very good. Yeah. But did they ask your permission? I suppose they don't need to.
No, I don't think they have to. I don't think they have to. I mean, I was incredibly flattered. Yeah, it was very cool. It was a little embarrassing at times. You know, I'm in carpool with the kids, and the song comes on, and my son's like... Or I'm in exercise class, and the song comes on, and... So, yeah, but and I love the song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's good.
I know. Judy's like, what the hell? What's that song?
No, she's mad because originally it was Judi Dench, That White Gold.
Now, very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to music, there is someone on this couch who can really spit some bars. I am, of course, looking at you, Dame Judi Dench. You know what I'm talking about. Your collaboration with Lethal Bizzle. It has set the rap world on fire.
Has it?
Yes! That's that smell. The rap world on fire.
Well, he asked if he could teach me to rap, and I said, sure.
And so you rock up and he...
Well, I tried.
You did it! I mean, have you guys all seen this? You must have all seen this.
Yes.
Have you all seen this?
No.
I have not.
Oh, you've not seen this?
No.
Oh, this is the rap stylings of Lethal Bizzle and Dame Judi Dench.
How?
May I ask something quickly?
How?
Yeah,
How?
yeah,
How?
if you don't know about me,
How?
may I ask something quickly?
How?
One more time, let's go.
How?
Yeah, I'm due to the D.
How?
If you don't know about me,
How?
may I ask something quickly?
How?
Yeah, I'm pow, you know?
How?
Yeah, I'm due to the D.
How?
If you don't know about me,
How?
may I ask something quickly?
How?
Yeah, I'm... You smashed it.
Excellent work. And it's time for our, another musical performance. This Grammy Award-winning singer's latest album has made her one of the biggest pop names of 2017. Here performing Los Angeles, it is St. Vincent! Come on over and say hi. Do, yes. There you go. Wrapped in. St. Vincent, everybody! Oh! Lovely job. Thank you so much. Come and join the couch. Have a seat there. Are you Annie? Did you know? No? St. Vincent's still around here. This is Annie, everybody. That's the cast of Murder on the Orient Express. There you go. Lovely, lovely.
Oh, so nice.
There you go. Have a seat too. So, St. Vincent, but chatting your Annie.
Sure, please.
That is off the album, which is called Mass Seduction. There's the front of it.
Yes.
Now, it's unfortunate you dropped something just as they were taking the picture, but in fact, that's not even you, is it?
I'm sorry to say, because it is a wonderful behind.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I know, it's not me.
Oh.
But it wasn't... It could have been me.
It could have been you.
Yes. Which begs the question, why isn't it you?
It was a serendipitous moment in a photo shoot, and she just happened to be, you know...
Looking for something.
And it just seemed like the right picture to sum up the album. Yeah.
It's
And
Josh.
isn't it gorgeous?
It's Josh.
It's what?
Johnny just keeps looking at me going, it's you, isn't it?
This.
I figured you might as well come clean now.
out. The secret's out.
So, but here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Not content with the singing, the songwriting, the touring, you found time for some inventing. Now, was that one of your inventions you were playing just then?
It was. I designed a guitar.
Ooh, yes, that guitar.
Yes, I designed a guitar that I like to say is gender inclusive. It's incredibly ergonomic for any gender.
Okay. Were old guitars not?
Well, okay, so I've been playing guitar for a long time, and I've been performing for a long time, and I'm a smallish person, so I don't want a big, heavy guitar. I love a 70s Les Paul, but they're so heavy. They're prohibitively heavy. So I designed a guitar with a smaller frame, maybe, in mind.
Yeah.
And a rock monster tone.
Nice, nice. Can you buy them?
You can, yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's Christmas sorted. You'll never guess what it is under the tree, Dame Judi, but... It's going to be a St. Vincent. Listen, thank you so much for doing that. That looked beautiful. I loved the look of that performance at the sound of it. St. Vincent, everybody. Nearly it, but we do have time for a quick visit to the big red chair. Who's there? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Greg.
Greg, lovely. And what do you do, Greg?
I've just started a recruitment business with two friends of mine.
OK, very good. Recruiting people to do what?
Accountants into retail businesses.
Wow.
Yeah, fun guy.
Buzzy, buzzy, buzzy. Oh, the brainstorming that went into that. OK, Greg, off you go with your story.
OK. I'm a massive rugby league fan, and once a year my team plays on TV. One Saturday I sat down ready for my team to play, and we scored a try, and I jumped up in between my lounge and my kitchen. I smashed my head on the beam. I completely conked myself out. I had no idea what was going on. I came round and my housemates above me in tears, crying on the phone to the ambulance saying, oh, you're right, there's blood pouring out of your head. And I was like, no, I'm not. He calls the ambulance. They say, look, you've got 20 minutes, keep him awake, and we'll be there as soon as possible. So we wait and we wait and we wait, and then the doorbell rings, and he's like, right, the ambulance is here. So he runs to the door. And opens the door, and it's actually an estate agent, and he's got an open house that morning organised by a landlord. And I'm laid there with blood everywhere in the middle of the lounge. The estate agent says, look, I don't care, we can go in, we'll just ignore the casualty. Eight couples walked into the lounge diner to find me on the floor with blood pouring out of my head. They just carried on their business quite normally, and one of them sort of stepped over me and actually looked at the cooker. Whilst they struggled over me, I looked up and they said, oh, darling, they've got gas hobs. That's really, really useful, isn't it? And I'm still laying there, and there's still blood pouring out of my head while this is happening. So, thankfully, they didn't sell the house that morning.
Oh, it had no ending, the story. Very good story. Very good, but it had no ending. There's a bit of a state agent. I like the way he was using the term lounge diner throughout his story. I was straddling the line down. OK, who's up next? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Lisa.
Lisa. And where are you from, Lisa?
I'm from Kew.
Kew Gardens?
Yes.
Oh, lovely. And what do you do there?
I'm an estate agent.
Oh! It was meant to be! Is she in that kitchen? I know, is there blood on the soles of her shoes? Did you hear that last story?
Yes, I did.
Yeah?
It's all about the sale.
All right, Lisa, let's see if you can top that. Off you go with your story.
Yes, when I was younger, I used to live on the Abergalley estate in Scotland, and neighbouring Balmoral, the Queen's Scottish home. And one day I was on the estate when the Queen was in residence and walking, and we knew, being local, we knew a lot of the staff. So we thought we'd pop in the back door of Balmoral Castle and just have a cup of tea and catch up with them. And perfect timing, the Queen had just finished afternoon tea and all the royal cakes were in the kitchen, so we absolutely feasted on the cakes. However, the bell rang. It was the Queen. She had an unexpected guest. All the kicks had gone, though. And needless to say, her butler was absolutely furious with us.
Needless to say. One more. Okay, one more. This is the one. This is the one. People have come from abroad for this. Come on. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one. Hello, sir.
Hello.
What's your name?
Robert.
Robert. Robert or Robin?
No, Robert.
Robert, right, very good. And what do you do, Robert?
I've got a little company. We do kitchens and we fit kitchens.
Oh, OK, very good. Off you go, Robert.
OK, in my teens, I had a girlfriend, and her father was a strict Catholic. He hated me with a vengeance. So it's Christmas Eve. The father says to my girlfriend, we're going out, you're staying in. So she says, I'm only staying in to babysit the brother if Robert can come round. So he finally agrees. I come round, they go out, the lights go down, the movie goes on, the lights come up, they come back. The mother says, oh, I'll make everybody a cup of tea. So we're sitting down and have a cup of tea. The dog comes in, sits in the middle of the lounge, starts coughing, coughs up, all of a sudden coughs up a condom.
If you'd like to join us on the show and have a go at the Big Red Chair, you can contact us via our website at this very address. Sadly, that is it for tonight. Please say a huge thank you to my guests, St. Vincent, Josh Gad, Michelle Pfeiffer, Judi Dench, Dame Judi Dench, and Sir Kenneth Branagh. Join me next week with singer-songwriter Kelly Clarkson, comedian Sarah Millican, Aquaman Jason Momoa, and the ever-charming Hugh Grant. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.